Do you know who you want to be? Have you made the decision about who you want to be? Good thing is every morning we get a chance to make a new decision. Did you make a decision this morning about what you were going to be intentional about in your life? About who you are becoming, who you want to be? We get to construct our lives, ladies and gentlemen. You hear me say it all the time, right? We get to design our ideal life. We get to design the life that we don't need a break from. Yep, we have control to do that. Ron put it in the chat, right? Moving away from the ordinary. That's right. Stepping away, breaking away from the things that are the normal, ordinary, mundane, so we can go live an extraordinary life, right? An extraordinary life. That's what we are striving for, but are we intentional? Are we intentional about the person that we're becoming? Are we intentional about the things that we're doing to become that person? We got to be intentional. Some things I wrote down. You got to be selfish. You got to be selfish. I know as a kid, they taught us not to be selfish, right? I'm an only child, so I've always been a bit selfish, right? But as a kid, they tell us not to be selfish. They tell us to share. Yeah, all those things are true until it comes to taking control of your life. If you're not selfish, you're going to give away all of the good stuff, all of the energy, all of the money, all of the time to people that will not give it back to you, to things that will not give it back to you, and you'll be left depleted. So you have to be selfish about the life that you're trying to create. You have to be selfish about the person that you want to become, and then where you intentionally spend your time. You got to be selfish about it. And that's the way. Being selfish is the best way to become selfless, right? If you do all the things you need to build you, to grow, to learn, to become more, to become better, that's when you can ultimately give the most. Can't pour from an empty cup, right? So if you don't have it, if you haven't filled your cup, if you haven't grown, if you haven't gotten the chance to say, you know what, I'm going to be intentional about my time, about my life, about where I'm headed, you'll never be able to give it to others. So you got to be selfish. That's something I wrote down. Just keep going. Just keep going. Progress equals happiness. It's what we're going to talk about. It's progress. Sure, you might not have done everything you wanted to do last week or this month, but just keep going. Just keep progressing. Just keep moving forward, even when things get really tough. Ladies and gentlemen, when things get really tough, that's when you're supposed to move faster. I was talking to the team about this, right? That sometimes we just wallow in the crap. We just wallow in the crap, right? Life gets tough, circumstances get hard, things start happening. And what do? We kind of sulk in it. We kind of sit in it. We kind of wallow in it a bit. We're like, oh, how do I? And we start just wallowing and sitting. But when it's really tough times, when you're really challenged, go faster. Move faster through the crap. Move faster through the tough times. That's how you get out of it. When you're going through hell, go faster. Don't stay in it. Don't stick in it. Don't stay in that mindset long. Don't stay in that depressive state long. Don't stay with that anxiety long. Like, move faster through the process. You just got to keep going. Don't lay down. Don't quit. Don't give up. Just keep going. That's huge. Another thing I wrote down was consistency. Obviously, consistency is key to everything you want to get in life, everything you want to attain in life. If you keep starting and stopping, you are slowing your momentum. If you keep starting and stopping, it'll slow down your momentum, what you're trying to do. If you can stay consistent, he gave the example of somebody that's in the gym, right? There's the people that show up to the gym at 4 a.m. Like, I'm going to crush it at the gym. I'm showing up at 4 a.m. They show up for a week and then they stop showing up. Something happens, 4 a.m. became too tough for them. You got the people that go in, it's like, I'm going to work out for 3 hours today. And they work out for 3 hours for 2 weeks. And then something happens that day and then they can't work out 3 hours. But how do we change it? How do we stay consistent? What if you just showed up for an hour every day? The person that shows up for an hour every day stays consistent with it, beats out the other people that are trying to do that. So consistency is key. Lastly, I wrote down, be a hero in your own movie. What an image. right? What an image to be the hero in your own movie. If this is the movie, this is the one life that you get to create a movie. We all know, right? The beginning parts of the movie are nice, and then all of a sudden it hits some adversity, and then there's a challenge. There's something that you have to overcome, some major problem, and then how that hero in the movie, how that character then progresses to either overtake that problem or get stronger or find a solution or team up with other people or whatever it is, they become the hero of that movie. Well, you got to be the hero of your own movie. You got to be the hero of your own movie. If this is the movie that you get to, that God has chosen for you, right? That you get a chance to live out. How do you become the hero in your own movie? It's because you have to get better. You got to learn. You got to grow. You got to get around better people. You got to be able to overcome the challenges. There's always going to be the problem, the adversity, but you got to overcome it. You got to be the hero in your own movie. Those are some things I took away from the video. Here's what it says in the text, 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class. It says champions define winning as personal progress. A couple calls ago, we talked about winning, right? And what winning looks like to you and making sure that you are putting yourself in an intentional space of winning. But you get to define what winning is. You get to define what winning looks like in your health, in your finances, in your relationships, and all the things. But in the book, it says, well, most champions define winning as personal progress. Just the fact that you're progressing. So here's what it says. It says, to average performers, winning usually means beating someone else. To the world class, winning usually means besting their previous performance. The upper class is more ego-driven and competitive than the world class. The great ones have evolved from an ego-driven consciousness to a spirit-driven consciousness, which transcends their need to be better than someone else. Champions know the real game is you against you. A paradox only the great ones fully comprehend. Say that again. Champions know the real game is you against you. A paradox only the great ones fully comprehend. The world class has come to the stark realization that life is not a level playing field, which makes true competition an illusion. People seeking ego gratification perpetuate the illusion of true and fair competition. Professional performers are Zen-like in their approach to winning and tend to focus on execution-based performance goals they can completely control. This keeps them in line with the reality that the only parts of winning they can control are their personal effort and attitude. The great ones know the most accurate indicators of winning are their ongoing growth and evolution as performers, and more importantly, as human beings. Those last two sentences, this keeps them in line with the reality that the only parts of winning that they can control are their personal effort and attitude. The great ones know the most accurate indicators of winning are their ongoing growth and evolution. I hope we start to understand these messages. I hope you start to adhere to these messages, that this is about you being able to control. It's the you versus you game. You versus you. That's it. There's nothing external. There's no one to look at. There's no marker, or, oh, I got to catch up to that person, or, oh, I got to do, right? I got to, have the house that that person has, or the car that that person has, or the relationship that they have, or their health, whatever. Like, it's not about that. It's about you versus you. You define winning as your personal progress. So have you gotten better in any of those areas? Have you gotten better in your health? Have you made steps, progress towards what winning in your health looks like? Have you made progress in your financial life to what winning looks like in your financial life? Have you made progress in your relationships, in your faith life, in all of the areas? Have you made progress? And it's knowing that winning is what you control, your personal effort and your attitude. Those are the only two things we can control in life. If you've never heard me say that, make sure you take heed to that. There's only two things we can control: our attitude and our actions, or our attitude and our effort. That's it. Nothing else can you control. Can't control another person, can't control your kids, can't control your spouse, can't control any of your coworkers, can't control the weather, can't control your environment, can't control anything. your personal attitude. How life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. We all go through the same things in life to varying degrees. How do you react to it? What's your personal attitude towards it? That will determine the trajectory of your life. And then the effort that you make, the actions that you're taking. That's all you can personally control. So every single day, you should be mindful of controlling those two things, of what you're doing and how you are feeling about that, your attitude towards it. That is, again, as it says here in the book, the great ones know those are the most accurate indicators of winning are just ongoing growth and evolution. That's how you know you're winning. Do you have a better attitude, a better disposition about something now than you did 5 years ago? Have you grown in an area where things that you did 2 years ago, you don't do anymore? That you think differently about some of those things. That means your actions are different. Your habits are different. Can you see that progress? If not, I'm going to challenge you to work on that. That is, if you're feeling any forms of stagnation in your life or in a certain area, any forms of depressive states, any forms of, right, just not getting to where you want to be, check your progress in those areas. And know that it has nothing to do with what's outside of you. This is a game of you versus you. This is a game of you versus you. So if you don't feel good about it, let's get back to the drawing board and let's start to be consistent about the thing that we want. Let's start to be consistent about how we're handling our finances or how we're handling our relationships. Let's be consistent in showing up, being intentional. What did we start that video with? It said, making a decision about who you want to be. That's where it starts. Have you made the decision about who you want to be, about what type of life you want to live? And if so, then we can start tracking and measuring our progress, because that's all it's about. Personal progress, nothing external, all internal. Take responsibility for your lives, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we get to the life that we don't need a break from. That's how we design our ideal life, is by taking full responsibility for your personal effort and your attitude. That's progress. That's winning. That's how you win. Here's this quote from Bill Gove. It says, the most evolved among us understand that winning is an inside job. It's not about beating or besting someone else, but rather getting the best from ourselves. Winning is, excuse me, winning is about being better tomorrow than you were today. That's what winning's about. It's being better tomorrow than you were today. Progress equals happiness. Pushing yourself 1% better every day. You don't have to take giant leaps. It takes a long time to climb Mount Everest, right? You're not going to do it in a giant leap. You're going to take steps to get there. That's how you have to look at winning in your life. So again, if you're not feeling it, if you're not feeling like you're progressing, then we got to get back to the drawing board. We got to make sure that you are taking ownership of your efforts and ownership of your attitude. One step forward every single day makes a huge difference. Stay consistent. The action step for today says, just for today, make a commitment to transcend your ego-based desire to be better than anyone else. Focus all of your competitive efforts inward and see how much better you can be today than you were yesterday. How much better can you be as a husband, a father, a mother, a wife, a daughter? How much better can you be today than you were yesterday? How much better can you be today than you were yesterday in your health? Can you eat something better? Can you consume something different? Is fasting a part of something that you need to do? How do you become better? Don't worry about beating other people. Don't worry about doing this for other people. Don't worry about making, someone else jealous or whatever the case is, that, you're doing better than them at the job or whatever the case is. This is about you. Again, focus all your competitive efforts inward and see how much better you can be today than you were yesterday. Monitor how this elevated level of consciousness makes you feel. You may decide to adopt this thought process as a habit and eventually a belief that transcends the need to beat anyone at anything. You versus you, ladies and gentlemen. You versus you. That's the message for today. Take ownership, take responsibility. Progress equals happiness. One step forward every day. Stay consistent. Watch your life change. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys jumping on, taking in the message. As always, you deserve this. Your families deserve it. You guys are working towards the life that you want to create. It just takes a little work, takes a little bit of information, takes a little bit of intentionality on us focusing on those goals and dreams, but we can all make it happen. All right. Go out there, do something that scares you this Wednesday. Go out there, do something that your future self will thank you for. I think my daughter wants to say hello. You want to say hello? There she is. She says hello. There we go. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care.